Was it an accident, or something more? That is the question that continues to echo in the hearts of fans since the shocking death of Yu Meng Long. When the first reports surfaced, they were brief, controlled, careful. Words like unexpected and under investigation were used, but clarity felt distant. For many, it wasn't just the tragedy that hurt, it was the uncertainty wrapped around it. An accident suggests something sudden, unplanned, and tragically unfortunate. Something that no one could have prevented. But when details are limited and timelines feel incomplete, doubt naturally begins to grow. That night, everything changed. According to official summaries, events unfolded quickly. Help was reportedly called. Authorities arrived. Statements were taken. But beyond those surface details, the public has been left with fragments rather than a full picture. And fragments leave room for questions. What exactly happened in the final hours? Who was present? What conversations took place? Was there any warning sign that something was wrong? Did anyone notice a shift in mood, behavior, or health? These are not accusations. They are human questions born from grief. Because when someone so admired leaves the world suddenly, people do not just want answers, they need them. Supporters began reviewing everything. His last public appearance, his final social media activity, the energy in his voice during recent interviews. Some fans insist he seemed hopeful and focused on upcoming projects. Others claim he looked exhausted, perhaps overwhelmed. But interpretation is not evidence. It is emotion trying to make sense of loss. Authorities stated that investigations were conducted. Yet what has been shared publicly feels minimal. The absence of detailed explanations has created a space where speculation now lives. Was it truly an unfortunate accident? Or is there more beneath the surface? In situations like this, transparency becomes crucial. Not because the public demands drama, but because trust depends on clarity. When updates are limited, the silence itself becomes suspicious. Some online discussions point to inconsistencies in the timeline of events that night. Small differences in reported times. Unclear sequences of who arrived first or when calls were made. Individually, these details may seem minor. But collectively, they create a cloud of uncertainty. And uncertainty fuels curiosity. It is important to remember that grief can distort perception. Emotions run high. Rumors spread quickly. Yet even within that emotional storm, one fact remains. Many questions feel unanswered. Was there a medical emergency that escalated too quickly? Was it a preventable situation? Were there warning signs missed in the hours leading up to the tragedy? Or is this simply a heartbreaking case of a moment that spiraled beyond control? The phrase "something more" does not automatically mean conspiracy. Sometimes it simply means context. Background. The full story rather than the summary. Fans are not investigators. They are people who care deeply. And caring deeply means refusing to accept confusion as closure. The pain of this loss has been amplified by the lack of detailed communication. In today's world, information moves fast. When official statements feel brief, audiences instinctively search elsewhere. The internet fills the silence with theories, analysis, and emotional interpretations. Some defend the authorities, saying investigations take time and privacy must be respected. Others argue that transparency is the only way to prevent misinformation. Both perspectives exist, but the emotional tension remains. Imagine being in that room during the final moments. Imagine realizing something was wrong. Imagine the urgency, the panic, the helplessness. Now imagine the world outside demanding explanations while those inside are grieving too. This is why the truth matters. Not to assign blame unfairly. Not to fuel drama. But to bring peace to millions who admired him. Throughout his career, Yu Meng Long represented resilience and depth. His performances carried vulnerability. His public image suggested kindness and dedication. To lose someone like that without full clarity feels incomplete, like a story cut off mid-sentence. And so the questions continue. Why were some details released quickly while others remain undisclosed? What conclusions were reached behind the scenes? Have all angles truly been examined? These are not attacks, they are echoes of collective heartbreak. History has shown that in high-profile cases, early assumptions are sometimes corrected later. Initial reports can change as new evidence emerges. That possibility alone keeps curiosity alive. Was it an accident or something more? If it was an accident, then understanding how it happened could prevent similar tragedies in the future. If it was something more complex, then clarity becomes even more urgent. Silence does not end speculation. Transparency does. What makes this situation especially powerful is the emotional connection fans felt. They followed his journey. They celebrated his milestones. They defended him in difficult times. That bond does not disappear overnight. And when someone you admire leaves unexpectedly, your mind searches for meaning. Perhaps the hardest truth is that sometimes life offers no dramatic twist, only devastating randomness. But when official answers feel incomplete, randomness feels unsatisfying. Until every detail that can be shared is shared, this story will not rest quietly in public memory. It will linger, in late-night discussions, in comment sections, in tribute videos, in whispered conversations asking, "Do you think we know everything?" The questions authorities haven't answered are not just procedural gaps. They are emotional wounds. Closure requires clarity. Trust requires transparency. Peace requires truth. And until that truth feels fully revealed, the world will continue to ask, was it truly an accident or something more? If you believe the full story deserves deeper attention, if you believe questions should never be silenced by time, then stay with us. Subscribe to Midnight in Seoul for more powerful investigations, emotional breakdowns, and stories that deserve to be understood. The truth matters, and we will keep searching for it.